versus Spirit, the Eastern European clash. Collapse playing Axe. Who was it that called it Collax? That was pretty good.
That was Fear.
Good job, Fear. Rip.
Yes, exactly.
They pick it because they don't want BetBoom to have Axe against Medusa. We've seen that before.
What?
Half joking, of course. Although that was a hilarious moment in Dota history.
Wait, am I missing this reference? When was that?
Was it us casting? No, it wasn't. It was at the Berlin Major where I think it collapsed. Yeah.
Oh, you mean the one shot? Yeah.
Medusa
that was Spirit against Game of Gladiators. That's the one you mean? Yeah.
Yes, sir. And then they lost the game.
Yes.
The battle begins.
Well, Nightfall is going to be spotted, so Bounty Rune battles commence, and Team Spirit actually gets 3 of the 4. But yeah, what do you think of these lineups? We've cast a few games with Collapse playing Axe, and I mean, he's looked good, despite the hero just not being popular at all.
He generally does really well in lane, and then we had a game where he was really owning for like 20 minutes, and then ultimately the hero falls a bit flat. That's kind of the curse of Axe, and it's kind of always been that at a certain point, there's just diminishing returns on what your hero offers. And I would say, for the most part, Viper can kind of follow the same trajectory, at least with the core matchup in this game of being the Morphling. So I think it's kind of fair to say that Spirit need to get ahead in this game, and I think there's a good chance that they will. But if last game is anything to go by, that's not going to be enough, because BetBoom just play a really good mid game.
Oh, it's a 1v1 battle for the ages. Support versus support. Blood grenades have been used. Who will get the right click? Verified by Toronto Tokyo. Mira, one more right click. He gets it. Mira, first blood. Now he's got to walk back to base or die. Oh, he will TP.
What an epic
The
duel.
third option that I didn't mention.
I mean, Blood Grenade is a really interesting item in 1v1 support battles because you pay health to use it. And you lose your max health, but over time, you deal more damage than you take yourself. So it becomes like strategic. You need to either use it really early or really late. And in that situation, I think Mira used one early, and he used one just when he was about to die, because then it's kind of quote-unquote free to cast. So really well done by him there to get that first blood. It's gonna head back to lane. Looks like the bot lane in the meantime in the 1v1 broke even.
Okay, here's a weird
question.
question.
I'm interested to see how it plays out.
Okay, go ahead.
You picked Viper against Ember. You need to make this to get a payoff.
Yeah.
See if Laurel can...
This hero has been kind of non-existent. We did cast one game, and it was also against a Tidehunter, so Nether Toxin, I'm sure, has part to do with this, along with the lane, like you said, versus the melee hero.
Call plus Nether Toxin can be interesting. Even though you can't break out of Call, it gives you a guaranteed setup to place the Toxin exactly how you want. So afterwards, follow-up stuns are going to stick, but not exactly like you have many of those. So, I don't know.
Oh, telekinesis into the gush. Miposhka can only just cast the Nether Blast before dropping. Okay, I was going to ask you this, since I haven't asked this before. Of the supports in this game, I mean, Shadow Demon got the first blood, right, Mira?
Yeah.
How impactful is that in the game, would you say, that it's on him specifically versus any other person? Like, is this a hero that can take advantage of it early?
It's not really like a standout hero to get first blood on. Oh, oops, Nightfall.
Yeah, misclick there. Forget that. Oh my, Mira. Mira, looking good.
I wouldn't say it's a standout hero to get it on. In general, getting first blood on supports can be really nice because you get toward either a protective item earlier or you get boots fast, which you can use to trade more effectively in lane with the enemy support. In this particular instance, I don't think it matters that much because I don't think he's going to be able to snowball this lane with the kill. I think arguably it would have been more impactful for BetBoom to get it on their silencer. First of all, he skilled Glaives level 1, right?
Yeah, I think it was.
In that fight? So,
I believe so.
So he would have got int, first of all, and stolen that from the Shadow Demon, so they would have offset that like we talked about last game, giving them a little bit
riveting conversation from last game.
Yeah, it was a very good one. But yeah, not exactly the biggest, of course, to get in. I think some of the bigger ones to get first blood on is someone like Techies, right? Because that hero just snowballs really hard in terms of damage when it gets 1 or 2 key items and its levels.
Okay.
Shadow Demon doesn't really necessarily offer the same amount of output. But it's really a game-by-game kind of thing. Maybe this is the kind of game where Glimmer Cape is going to change everything, or where having an Aether Lens earlier in SD can be nice.
Yeah.
So, hard question to answer.
Do you
really.
think BetBoom have picked the right heroes against the Medusa?
I don't know if the Rubik last pick was that good for that, but I think the
Toronto
Morphling...
Tokyo, 4 stacks of Shadow Poison, gets Berserker Call, and will drop for a second time in this game.
I'll say I think Morphling was the single best pick available for BetBoom in the slot that they grabbed it, so I think that was a really good call. As far as the Rubik, I can't say with full confidence that that was the best option there. It's pretty decent against Viper. The spell steals against Viper are nice, both of them. Against Shadow Demon, you can steal Disruption, which is huge against Axe. So there's definitely some... The potential is absolutely there, but as usual with Rubik, it's always going to be very situational and dependent on getting those opportunities. And a lot of the time, Shadow Demon can cover himself. Nice call here from Collapse. Might actually just run him down.
Yep. Toronto Tokyo, death number 3 incoming. And Collapse. Only bad thing about that is he's not level 6. Can't get those stacks quite yet. Save. Nether Blast finishes him off in the top lane. So 4-1 advantage for Team Spirit. This looks familiar.
Yep. Sure does.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
And of course, like you said in the last game, these two teams extremely familiar with each other's gameplay. They've been the top 2, essentially, from Eastern Europe for this entire DPC season.
Curious to see what's going to happen mid next. GPK is about to hit 6, so is Laurel. A lot of rotations coming in.
Yep, GPK is getting slow, but there's a Fade Bolt. Blood Grenade comes out, and a Slide the Fist, very casual kill onto Laurel. That just looked way too easy. Now GPK not only level 6, but gets the Arcane Rune.
Viper just doesn't have the best armor, and what Laurel has done in this lane is that he's bought boots.
Oh, he
and
wants to go deep here with that Arcane Rune. Miposhka Searing Chained. Blood Grenade dodged, but they will... Okay. Arcane Curse ticking away, but he looks to be fine, I think. Maybe. Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think Laurel's item build bites him a little bit in the ass there, because you have Bracer, boots, and GPK has just raw value, right? He has the Orb of Corrosion. So I don't know if these boots are necessary for Laurel to pressure the Ember Spirit as much in lane as he has done, because otherwise you could have had like more stats there, and maybe that wouldn't have killed you if you had, say, a Crown in that slot. Because that was close to not being a kill for GPK. But now that he has that little bit of a... I'm not going to say he has a head start in mid. He's still behind on net worth, but with the expected outcome of this lane, I think GPK is doing very well.
Yeah, he's only 200 behind. I mean, neither player's really farming that well to start the game at least. But Viper is one of those heroes that if you get off to a rough start, it sometimes can be kind of hard to get back into the game.
Yes, very much so.
I believe, I think a long time ago they nerfed Nether Toxin, so it's not as nearly as good for taking like big stacks. That was when the hero was actually popular.
And when there was the small camp as well in mid.
Yep, very true. And another call comes out onto Nightfall. And he should be fine. Question mark. Shadow Poison applied.
Running low on mana here.
He can dunk him pretty shortly.
He's pinging. Help me!
Did they just cancel their TP? Adaptive Strike's going to put Collapse back in his place. 3 stacks now, Shadow Poison. TP will be spotted. It's just Toronto Tokyo, who's already died a number of times. They're not really going to be scared of that. Another Shadow Poison. There's the call. And, oh! Wait, did he dodge the Shadow Poison? He's going to go through the gate.
Oh my god.
And the dunk not quite there in time.
Holy
Nightfall.
Talk about playing it to the limit there.
I couldn't tell, like, if you waveform, during waveform, he pops Shadow Poison, do you take damage?
No.
I couldn't tell if he took damage or he just had enough HP, because that was like 5 stacks, I feel like.
I think he used the stacks during the call, right? Maybe not. Oh, GPK getting hurt badly here.
Yep. Viper Strike applied, but...
Nice shield rune.
He's A-okay. And Puria's he built the Meteor Hammer. We saw this yesterday. I don't think it was on him though. I think it was XXS, I want to say.
Yeah.
Very not tanky build. I mean, he went Meteor Hammer, Blink, Sheep.
Yeah.
So just no tank ability other than his Kraken, obviously.
I think Pure is buying a hood, or sorry, a pipe this game.
Okay. Okay, let's this is 5 stacks,
He popped them there.
Oh, okay.
Nightfall used his stick at the perfect moment before getting called. So he just got enough max HP to not get in calling range.
Dire's top tower.
All right, well, nice play. Nightfall avoiding death, avoiding stacks for Collapse, who has his Vanguard and already 1,700 gold into his Blink Dagger, so expect him to be very, very active in this early game.
9-minute top tower for Pure. Very good news for him.
Yep,
Meteor
true.
Hammer in action right there. Let's see what neutral item he opts for. He's holding on to the token for now.
That's a very powerful buff that you get from that. It taunts the enemy team, effectively. You don't need this, as GPK taking a nice stack here in the jungle. And he's got Phase Boots, Orb of Corrosion, and I would assume a Maelstrom after the Wand. Yeah, there's the blink from Collapse, but he's going to be greeted by the enemy team. Gets off the call, tries the TP, Collapse. Won't get out of this one, though. Now, the good news is he didn't show Blink Dagger, so he's going to be able to reveal that after respawning. Let's see if BetBoom prepare for that or not, if they can anticipate it.
Highest amount of building damage. Literally just been spamming hammer on one tower, and that's the record. That's funny. Well, in this game, he's also the biggest building damage hero. Only rivaled by Rubik with 20.
Yeah, that's one right click?
Yeah.
Two? I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably two. Wait, it might be one. That's a good question.
Yeah. 73 damage. You do the math with the armor on the building.
Yeah, it's one or two.
Radiant
Okay,
are
good.
scanning.
I think it's one, actually.
Well, Mira and Maposhka kind of sharing XP in the mid lane. And Pure, we will likely be seeing a Ravage here, I would assume, in the near future. As
Collapse is smoked, but if he walks down the lane here, and if he goes for a call on the Morph, they are so ready for a punish here.
Dire's bottom tower
He
is
isn't
under
going
attack.
to, though. He's
Yeah,
backing off.
all right. Good call from him, although now he's hightailing back
Radiant's
as
middle
Nightfall's
tower
going to show.
is under attack. Dire's
But now
bottom
Collapse does have some backup, despite being the only smoked hero in the lineup. And Collapse, there's the initiation. Pure gets off the Gush, could go for the Ravage, but Yatoro has come with the Stone Gaze. That means BetBoom now retreats for the time being, but there's the Ravage to follow. Meteor Hammer on top of Yatoro. He has no mana, gets the Wand and the Mystic Snake. There's the save temporarily from Mira, but they have the surround and a nice attempt at the call, but the Medusa does die to the Slight. And Collapse, he's going to try to get out of here now. It's a big Fade Bolt from Save. Maposhka trying to heal his teammate, but that's going to get himself killed. And the Gush gets another kill on top of that. Make it a triple kill for Nightfall. 4 dead overall as Team Spirit get crushed.
Just a perfect bait. There's not really much else to say. They knew that was coming. They set it up beautifully. Great spell casting all around.
Dire's bottom
Yeah, pretty much just flawless. Nightfall turning into the Medusa that fight. I think he got off Mystic Snake twice. Also really nice, and I love this turnaround play on Yatoro. They recognize he's running low on mana, and the tricky thing for the enemy supports is you start life draining here with Miposhka to try to keep him alive, which is completely understandable, but he's so low that you kind of have to disrupt as well. So now, ideally you would want this to be in opposite order, right? But now you don't have the drain. He goes down the drain, and X also goes down the drain. And then more heroes go down the drain.
Yeah, this felt like a domino.
Full-on plumbing experience here.
And again, we talked about the Viper. If you don't have value early, it's going to be so hard to get back in this game.
Yes.
And he is not doing so hot.
But if last game is anything to go by, this is when Team Spirit dodge fights for 10 minutes, and then they somehow own.
What?
That's what BetBoom did.
Yeah, that's what BetBoom did.
Yes. So if last game was an indication of how it works,
Oh, you mean
Then
just
Spirit-
taking a page from their book, essentially.
I don't think that's going to work, necessarily, anyway.
Yep, certainly an uphill battle.
It's rough being... It's not only the Viper, I also feel like Axe, if he doesn't get to use this early lead, this hero just
that's
has
fair.
some major drawbacks. He will complete this Blade Mill somewhat soon, and that does enable him to solo kill Morphling if he catches him before the attribute shift goes off. But first he needs to survive this move inbound. It's a 3-man smoke. They're waiting for the Wisdom rune. If Collapse fancied getting that one, he would die to try to get it, but
Yeah.
He is not. So this one should be going to probably, yeah, GPK will grab that.
Were you going to say Toronto?
No, I was not. No, I was expecting.
How sad is that for support to look at that?
I mean, he still got half, right?
Yeah, it was either him or the Rubik, right?
He got a lot of experience on the silencer, so got his fair share of it. Mira looking to snag the other one.
Yeah,
will be successful.
They get to trade.
Dire's middle tower is under
Oh
attack.
yeah, that feels good.
It's a nice pickup. He's also gonna see a stack there. Does he have? He didn't have a ward, right? It would be really nice for him to have a ward on this move when he's running around with this invis rune. He could have placed a nice deep ward and then TP'd away, or just simply walked it off. But no further information except identifying this stack there.
Any kind of a ward that would spot Nightfall solo farming with high agi, low HP.
Yeah.
For Collapse to basically solo smoke and just kill.
Nice to Kreb from Miposhka there. Clean. Dodging the slight, so no slight chains
Toronto
there.
Tokyo has global now.
He does have a really good ward too. Pure is set up with his Blink Dagger.
Oh, okay.
So he is going
Pretty damn quick.
hammer into Blink, but now I think it's going to be the pipe, whereas we saw from XXS yesterday that he went Hex. I think the pipe is still just very valuable for Tide in this game.
And Collapse. Is
Oh, they saw the courier.
Okay, well they know they actually scan as
They
well.
Oh, they know.
See if they can get the jump. They're actually just chilling here for the time being. And Collapse into the tree line now. I'm trying to pretend that they don't know that he's there. Collapse will blink to the other side and somehow nothing comes of that. That's insane. Perhaps they thought that there were more members there.
No. That's funny to watch.
Middle tower is under attack.
Well, 16 minutes in, no Roche attempt yet. Typically that'll happen with the first team fight win, which we haven't seen yet. Well, actually, it's not even true. I feel like a team typically will have a more sizable lead than 1K before they go for the first Roche, as the Maelstrom now online for GPK.
It's not only about the lead, it's also about the power level of the heroes, right? Like, when they win that bottom fight, they're not ready to Roche.
Oh, they're going to try to go for the Medusa. Yatoro. He's going to attempt to TP out right in the face of everybody, but the adaptive strike brings him back, and they're going to bring him down. So not opting to use Stone Gaze.
Yeah. I think he could have Stone Gaze run,
Most likely.
actually.
Yeah.
But wasn't anticipating any additional heroes. He counted the stuns. He knew there was no lift, there was no ravage. Went for the escape, but gets punished heavily. There's a call.
Indeed, but Collapse is kind of outnumbered right now, but teammates are on the way. But he's going to get telekinesed back. Another slide onto 3 heroes. Atos being showed by Laurel, but no follow-up at all. And instead, Collapse gets waveform down. And BetBoom, I mean, it's only 9-4, but it just feels like they're getting everything they want, considering the heroes that are on Spirit's side. 2 of the 3 cores just feel like
nice
they're going to drop off here. Nice chains onto 2. Remnant takes out Miposhka, and now Laurel, very slow Viper. Meteor Hammer clips him. He's going to get lifted into the arms of Nightfall. And BetBoom's starting to run away with this.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I would say they're starting to. It's felt like they've been running away with it for a while. Not exactly a massive lead, but it's just, again, the writing on the wall, right? Viper and Axe are not winning the earlier portion of this game, so definitely in a very complicated position. And again, this is another game where Morphling, I think, has pretty damn good matchups. Oh, that's close.
It is close, but Spirit are losing, and they still have more.
Yep.
Production. Fake news.
Oh, Collapse could take that one in there even further ahead, but he didn't notice. Well, anyway.
Care.
Ember with the 13 runes.
There's the blink. Blade Mail. Does he have enough to chop? He does. The first chop of the game for Collapse, and it's a big one.
Yes. This has to happen more than once for Spirit to recover this game, and that's a good one.
Yep, save. He's gonna get the Calling Blade. Very important.
Does a lot of damage on Rubik.
Now,
I think it applies to your spell amp first, right? So the threshold is higher.
Probably, yeah. Now, does he keep his stacks once he gets rid of Culling Blade?
I
Actually,
think
don't.
so.
I'm not 100% sure on this one.
That's a good question.
Well, we're probably not going to find out.
We don't often see Rubik culling blading anyone, but he has Aetherlens. So
Yeah, it's not the worst.
look at that range. That's decent.
Yeah, it is.
Like 600. 500 maybe?
Well, let's hope he does not get rid of it so we can answer this question. Collapse. Trying to find more openings. But Nightfall is going to... I mean, it happens once. Sure. But now he's likely mentally prepared for it. It's not BetBoom going to smoke his 4.
It's hard to have your finger on the morph button all game, right? Or attribute shift button. At some point, you might just get caught off guard. If you have literally no idea it's coming, if you're about to approach a team fight, you're going to be way more observant. But if you're like farming, you can't always have that instant reaction.
They see Collapse, but they're opting to go into this area. Yataro is going to be spotted, lifted up in place. The Stone Gaze does go off in time this time. As the Meteor Hammer actually gets canceled because of the Stone Gaze. So not the greatest layering from BetBoom.
Yeah, they
but they do force out the ult.
They need to Blink Ravage immediately on that telekinesis.
And save. He's stolen split shot instead of keeping Culling Blade forever. Feeling sad.
Well, now we can farm the jungle.
You can try.
No damage.
Well, Team Spirit looks like they want to fight despite not having that Stone Gaze.
Ravage is also crucial.
Yeah.
It's a big spell to have down. Toronto Tokyo gets spotted.
Yeah, a little bit late on the TP, so
easily dealt with. BetBoom, more or less.
Oh, they want to go for more.
Lead.
Tidehunter's a bit tanky. He's got that pipe now. And Pure, he's going to be able to walk away. Looks like the Nether Ward was stolen.
The eternal curse of Axe right there.
Yeah, Collapse is just getting kited really hard in these fights. And now Mira will likely get cleaned up as well. Gets off the Demonic Purge, but not going to do a whole lot for him. So Spirit wanted to fight because there's no Ravage, but they feel like they just can't kill this Tide without Nether Toxin just being on him the entire fight. So into the Roche Pit, BetBoom goes. Nightfall still with those Medusa illusions. It's kind of funny. And this will be their first Aegis. Again, only a 2K lead, so making it... Are we being a little too grim?
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I just don't know what Viper Axe do this game if they're behind.
I'm not so much...
Medusa is a beast, though. We've seen that
I'm not
before.
looking so much at the gold in general in this game. I'm looking at just the perceived power curve of the heroes, right? And what they're meant to do. And I've found in this tournament so far that I've been surprised multiple times. So I'm not going to say with a lot of confidence that things are going in a specific way this game, but historically speaking, Axe Viper do not want to be in this position. I can say that with confidence, but especially because Morphling, I think, deals very well with both heroes late game. And now that he has the Axe, he's going to deal well with the Medusa as well. So definitely think they've got their work cut out for them. But, you know, if you find that opening, if you get the Blink call with Blade Mail and one-shot the Morphling in a team fight when he doesn't have Aegis, for example, anything can happen. Like, Axe has the potential to do it, but there's a lot of things that need to align. You need to do it without getting countered by Global Silence. You need to not have a good save on Rubik, who could either get... He could get a shard. I think that'll be amazing this game, first of all. Or he could maybe have stolen Disruption. You need to also play around the Ravage when you go for these kills. So there's definitely a lot of what-ifs that Spirit need to deal with. Like, just straight up from an economy standpoint, it's not looking too rough, but, you know, the matchups are...
Nightfall has his Axe now, so Medusa is gonna feel it. No doubt about it. And I was thinking about this in the beginning of the game. I didn't bring it up because I haven't really seen a whole lot of it, although we haven't really seen Axe that much. But Collapse does have Shard queued up, which is the percentage-based attack damage reduction, which against Morphling theoretically is incredible.
Yeah.
But I haven't personally seen it in action too much.
It also improves your spin, putting its cooldown to 0, I believe, right?
Top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is falling.
So
yeah, no cooldown.
So if you're calling a morph that uses Manta, for example, you can spin a hell of a lot of times.
Oh boy.
Before they die.
Speaking of Axe.
He has BKB. He's gonna get out.
He does. Does
Not the
feel
way
bad.
he was hoping to use it for the first time.
And you can see Laurel 2K behind his mid counterpart. Has the Atos BKB. Is he actually going to go for the Boots of Travel?
I think it's the best item he can buy. So, oh,
He is
Miposhka, nice
quite-
juke. GPK is completely lost in the woods.
You won't find him by the Lotus Pool because they forget that that exists, as we've seen so many times.
That would have been funny if GPK gives up on the chase and then Miposhka's just picking flowers. Like, what?
Do you like that it's you can see when somebody's taking the Lotus? Or hear it, even?
I wouldn't mind either way. I think it would be okay to also have that
So
be...
apathetic towards Lotus in general, it sounds like.
I mean, I think Lotus Pool matters the absolute most in the first 6 minutes.
Until Block of Cheese comes out, of course.
It's either the first 6 minutes where it can offset a trade in the lane, and whoever has the Lotus Flower can win a 2v2 because they have that burst heal. It's either then, or it's in some sort of mid-late game situations with a greater healing Lotus, making a big switch.
Right.
For example, on Medusa, this item is insane, because the EHP on that hero in particular with it is huger than anyone else in the game, so that mana influx is big. And with that in mind, I mean, Spirit should maybe be trying to touch some grass, pick some flowers. They have some. Shadow Demon is definitely keeping track of it. Mirror now will get his first greater, so could pass that on to Deuce if he wants. That's a 900 health and mana burst.
GPK finds Miposhka this time. Nice block off with the Nether Ward. Will be able to juke out save as well. Oh my god, he runs right into save instead. And eventually they'll bring down this pesky Pugna.
That's actually a good steal. Decrepify is really good against Axe.
Oh, speaking of Axe, boy, every time you mention his name, Collapse dies.
God. Morphling does so much damage, man. What a hero. I think Morph should be universal.
Do you think that they picked Axe in part as a counter to Morph?
Well, Morph was picked into Axe, right?
Was he?
Am I remembering incorrectly?
I don't remember.
Morph was picked after.
Okay.
I mean, Nightfall was
Then they
that
just
confident.
assumed that Morph would be picked.
I don't consider Axe a clear counter to Morph. Like,
I mean, only reason I mentioned is because the shard in theory, but
yeah, and you had that one kill that he found in Nightfall, right? So it definitely has the potential to assassinate the hero, but it's not one of the like obvious Axe.
oh my
matchups.
god, Pure!
Nice
They
reaction.
can't find it. A little greedy there.
Now Butterfly on Nightfall. He is massive.
No, Aegis has been claimed. Is the courier still gonna die? What?
Oh, he forgot.
Oh my god.
Well, it can happen to anyone.
It can.
Nice escape from Mira there.
Makes you feel a lot better about yourself when these couriers die. Pros can barely micro it themselves, so.
Save just marked the entire map. I don't know what he was trying to communicate with his team.
Yeah, I saw that. That looked very aggressive.
When we saw the
there it
post-game
is
camera
again.
from the last game, maybe he seemed frustrated about his computer. Maybe he's lagging,
Radiant's top tower is under
and he's testing by drawing on the map.
Yeah, that's a good way to test the accuracy of your mouse.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to draw a square that it turned into
That was
something
a really
that doesn't
bad
exist.
attempt.
It turned into a.
will
okay.
get this. Barely. Oh, this is close. Okay, he's fine. He's fine. Yeah, he's fine.
Okay.
I started to get a little bit spooky.
Miposhka
Oh,
gets
no.
it.
Oh,
If they find this kill. He doesn't have mana to TP. Oh, he just found
they
it.
pinged him now. They're like, wait, the Tormentor.
Oh my god, that would have been so embarrassing, actually. Good content, though, of course.
Yikes. Well, he got out, so it was a good play. It's worked out. They grab that shard. They will grab a second. They're starting to stack up Shadow Poison on this one.
Indeed.
Miro wants to stack that up and then pop it and then instantly one-shot himself.
So Spirit will claim both shards. That's 2,800 gold.
They get it on the Viper. So,
Wow.
poison attack shard.
No, it's a corrosive.
That's
Wait,
the step.
that's the Ags. That's true. Is it actually the minus armor one still?
Yes.
Oh, I thought they changed that. And you can attack buildings.
Yep.
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
It's decent. If he gets to attack in the fight, it can make the difference. It's a pretty meaningful damage increase for Medusa that Morph is hitting targets for her. That minus armor now. I think the max stack is 3, right?
The fact that I thought the Ags was the shard shows how bad the Ags is.
So you can get up to 8 minus armor now with this. Because the base stacks of poison attack is 5, and now you increase it by 3. So
Yeah.
and everyone's -1. So -8 armor is not a small deal.
No, I mean, there was a time where this was one of the most powerful shards in the game.
Yeah.
When Viper was actually relevant. You just push down towers, and there's not a whole lot you could do.
Yeah.
Force fights. And Spirit, speaking of which, want to force a fight here. 4 smoked up. Their Medusa has Scotty now. So Scotty, Manta, Butterfly, Sheep for Pure just needs to be delivered.
They
So
have 2 Lotuses, so they have the tools against Global on both supports.
wait, did he go? He went Shivas. Okay, I thought he was going Sheep as well.
He's gonna go Refresher next.
Oh, there's the initiation. They find the Morphling. Nightfall gets off the adaptive strike, but he's stunned by the Stone Gaze. Pops the Manta. Waveforms away safely. Now the Searing Chains, and look who it is. It's Collapse. Actually going to get saved for the time being, but the rest of his team kind of debating whether they want to save him or not. The Telekinesis is reflected by the Lotus. And this fight, kind of awkward. As Nightfall trying to heal up a bit before potentially re-engaging. Does not have his Morph, has already used it. Pure faking out the Ravage. Adaptive Strike, pulls the Medusa in place, but there's another Toxin. Ty just gotta wait that out. And the fight breaks. It's such a weird game again. So, was it BetBoom the last time yesterday when we were talking about the weird games, which I liked?
Yes, I think it was.
Kind of passive on both sides.
Yeah, BetBoom versus Aster, yeah.
But the difference was they were up 10K the whole time.
Yeah.
This is very even, net worth-wise at least. Okay, Roche is gonna force a fight now.
No Global. No Morph. Ah, he has it again in 5. Never mind.
So
Sure, it's
Aegis
fine. The spell has 60
and
second cooldown.
Cheese. As the smoke from Spirit. Roche getting pretty low. BetBoom are going to have to hurry up here. You can see that poison attack doing pretty good work against the old Roche.
Wow, they're actually just going to get it.
I think so. GPK, he might be able to scout it, but has a Remnant up, and yeah, they're going to be able to claim the Aegis and Cheese. So BetBoom now on the run, but there's a counter initiation. Toronto Tokyo dies right off the bat. Nether Toxin applied to the Tidehunter as GPK kills off a support. Yatoro does get off his Stone Gaze as Laurel eats the cheese just before dying. So we'll stay alive as a result, and now GPK able to find a little bit of distance. There's the Ravage coming out. It's going to connect onto 3. Mira likely will be the first to fall, but another Nether Toxin comes in. As Yatoro still with the Aegis.
Oh man, he's
But very low mana. If he gets surrounded, he has to be very careful. There's a gem randomly on the deck because both supports from Spirit are dead. Telekinesis back, Yatoro. This might be life number 1. Indeed it is. Laurel on the outskirts. He might be scouted here. Will try to TP out. Global Silence is there. So at the very least, Laurel gets out, but the Aegis, Cheese, and basically everybody from Spirit die.
Nightfall turned into Shadow Demon and disrupted the Medusa twice that fight.
Really?
Those illusions are pretty good. Yeah.
I did not see that. So it forced 1 buyback out of BetBoom, but I mean, they were fighting into Aegis, Cheese, and they did really well.
And they did not have Global, and it didn't matter. I guess they got it. Did they get it halfway through the fight? I think they did.
Nice cheese there from Laurel. But, okay. Into the live we go.
Wait.
Nightfall in the enemy base. Lots of minus armor applied. He's going to get disrupted. But he's actually just going to walk away despite having no mana. The wand and waveform away.
The confidence to just go for it. His team weren't remotely close, right? Like, he almost died in a 4v1, but
Yeah.
then he played the I Am Morphling card and survived.
Yeah, he has Satanic. And there's a double damage rune. They're going to bottle.
Oh.
And he's full agi, basically, so we'll be able to heal up with the Satanic instantly.
Yeah, it's going to go and get a full refill here. this double damage is definitely going to be put to use. He can assassinate the enemy supports in a matter of 3 attacks. As we've talked about, some good targets for the Morph. He can either turn into Medusa, he can turn into the Shadow Demon as he did that last fight, which gives them another save, which is kind of interesting as an idea. We were talking about, you know, Rubik maybe stealing the Shadow Demon Disruption or having his shard. But if Morph turns into to the Shadow Demon, he can also save his supports. So, actually so much potential becoming Shadow Demon as Morph. And now, okay, there's also an Illusion Rune. Let's see if he wants to have both. I think he's just going to take it and save the DD. So sending up some illusions to split push top. In the meantime, BetBoom are presenting themselves. I guess not really. They're not showing, but they're setting up, we should say, for a potential fight bottom. Doesn't look like Spirit are going to fall for this, though, and walk in there. It's a very standard play nowadays, but...
Yep, Collapse going to kill some waves to try to kind of slow this push a bit.
I wonder if BetBoom really want to do this. They don't have Aegis, but the double damage is obviously insane, and he has turned into Medusa. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage you got there, young man.
All right, Demonic Purge off the DD.
Okay, that not a lot. I mean, yeah, it's still a lot of damage, actually. Tower goes down. That's a freebie for BetBoom.
Do you remember that patch where everybody was like, this is not fair, when Tiny would 5-shot towers?
Yeah.
That's Morphling now.
It's a lot of Universal heroes, too, though, to be fair.
Maybe not to that extent. Okay.
Collapse. We'll have to BKB. Does not want a TP, though. It's going to get Global Silence. Shiva's going to give him
He's just dead.
some vision as well, and Collapse just drops. So no BKB. He does have the buyback, but without having that, it's not going to feel too great for him. So 1 tower down in the bot lane for the tier 3s. And Nightfall, they're going to go mid now. There's a disruption to Telekinesis, not quite on the low ground, but I believe that was a tentacle surprise from Pierre, if I'm not mistaken, Cinder. And Shadow Demon's dead, and that is
no buyback.
That is a big hero to kill, even though it's such a support.
What are they going to do without SD? Is this just 2 lanes? I don't know what you do. Like, you can buy back your X all you want. I think Shadow Demon is way too important.
Yeah.
They're just going to sell it. They're going to sell 2 lanes. That one find on the Rubik, getting that lift on Shadow Demon, pulling him back in to the tentacle surprise.
Yep.
Okay, 2 lanes of barracks, Spirit.
They still have 20 seconds with Shadow Demon dead, and, well, Viper Strike applied to save. He's going to die pretty much right off the bat, and I think with that, BetBoom might just get away.
Yeah.
Or might just leave, I should say.
There.
Daedalus now on Nightfall. He is fully stacked.
He's enormous. We're entering literal one-shot territory against the supports, because if he steals stats from Medusa and gets a Daedalus crit on top of his waveform, he might just kill the SD or the Pug. Now, maybe 2 attacks is what it's going to take, but their reactions need to be incredibly fast. Thank you for pointing out that Dire still has no bounty runes.
How? Every single game. Thanks, production. They probably flipped it, though. For being honest, knowing them.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That has to influence win rate quite a bit.
I would imagine.
Dire's courier has been killed.
And despite all of it, it's only a 5K lead for BetBoom. It's such a strange game.
Yeah, 2 lanes of barracks, but they don't have enough bounty runes, Shannon.
I mean, they weren't that far away. Collapse stealing a Wisdom Rune, continuing to be a nuisance. Just trying to get every little thing that they can. As another double damage spawns bottom. That means the runes reset, right?
Yep. Wonder if Morph is going to find this one.
Toro, let's see, what does he have right now? So he went for Moonshard, actually. Interesting. It has a Crystallis now. Silver Edge looks to be on the menu, and an eventual Divine if we even get to that point of the game.
Oh, double damage.
Don't
GPK taking this one?
Oh, okay. Well, maybe a little bit harder to Demonic Purge. I don't know. A little bit more.
I guess. That's actually a good point. Maybe that's the main reasoning.
Well, next Roche, we won't know for 45 seconds.
Are scanning.
Nice casual game, it feels like.
Very, very soothing game.
It is a soothing game.
Radiant's top tower.
20 to 8. Net worth somehow even-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, you got to give credit to Yotaro, despite being on the back. Oh, he's gonna have to stone. Did I just?
Gotta give him
just
credit.
curse him?
Thanks for giving him credit.
He's trying to TP out, but the steering chains is there. Oh no, I pulled a Cinder in, everybody.
Yeah, gotta give him credit though. Make sure you do that before he dies, so he knows he got it.
Oh, that's not technically a compliment, right? I said you gotta give him credit, but the compliment hadn't come yet.
Oh.
So I don't know what kind of curse that was.
What was the compliment gonna be? He hasn't died very much this game. Was that the compliment?
No, he's still farming really well despite
Yeah.
his team being kind of on the defensive. But yeah, he died now. That's a big deal.
They could force the buyback more than likely. Tied with the refresher. And he has more than enough mana pool where that came from with that Shiva's build, so not going to be an issue for Pure whatsoever to get 2 of those bad boys off. And that really feels like if Spirit don't win a fight and get a Roche, I think if Morph has 2 lives, they're just screwed.
There's the forced buyback. Global silence is there, though. They delete Shadow Demon. He's
Whoa,
gonna have to buy
Laurel,
back as
that
well.
is
Laurel,
just not
where
gonna
are
work, buddy.
you, young man? He will have to buy back as well. Now GPK trying to keep everybody busy on the other side as the tower taking heavy damage from the illusions, but they have forced a lot of buybacks. And
3
BetBoom,
buys for nothing.
yeah, I mean, global, I guess.
Wow.
That's the big one.
It's not a long cooldown nowadays.
True.
They'll have it again soon. Yeah, clean hit and run. The Medusa buyback in particular, of course, huge. It's a lot of gold down the drain for Yotaro. That rapier is very far away again.
Well, good news for BetBoom. Again, on top of them, you know, winning this game so far, is Roche will be up in 35 seconds. It will be the Radiant side, which means Aghanim Scepter, which I think we agree on in most cases is far superior because it is permanent. So we'll see who they opt to give that to.
I'd like to see it on Tide, I think.
So Morph and Ember already have theirs, so it's really just the other 3. I don't even remember. Oh yeah, Silencers is the AoE last word, which theoretically would be incredible if it was a 25 talent with the mute, right? So that's not going to happen. Rubik, it's more of a core Rubik item, so yeah, I think Tide it will be. Did he go for any talents with Gush?
I don't think it matters. It's just really valuable to have for them in this game. The way the fights play out, just having that long-range Gush hitting multiple targets, it allows Sleight of Fist to deal more damage. It allows Morph to assassinate heroes that bit easier. It cancels Dagger. It's very, very nice here, and that will be Roche. And this, I don't know, man. I'm holding on to some sort of insane
Middle tower is under
silver lining for Spirit here in order to somehow solve this. But this upcoming push, they're fighting into global, Aegis, Cheese, 2 Ravages, and buybacks. And they have nothing themselves. They have 0 buys. This is about as close as it gets to insurmountable with this kind of advantage only. And I say only because 18k, you know, we've seen games where teams are ahead by 40 and don't necessarily.
It was
but
even,
this,
and it still felt like they were crushing.
Yeah.
Right.
And it really makes you wonder if the the prioritization in the draft of rating this Medusa so high and then still not second phase banning the Morphling is definitely. I feel like I still question how teams keep giving this hero in the second phase. Like, to me, Morphling just seems like, how many games have we seen this hero just take over?
It feels like every game.
It's so many. And like you said, maybe they were like, oh, our idea is we're going to pick Axe and it's going to be the solution. He killed Nightfall 1 time solo. That's it. He's 14-1. That was his 1 death.
Yep.
Oh, a hero that can kill Medusa illusions. That's refreshing.
One of the only.
Oh my god, it's a fair fight.
It really is. God, what has happened to us? All right, the tower is... Oh, we got the smoke coming out. First, Ravage comes out from Pure with the Gush.
Okay, they get the
Collapse
call.
gets a nice call. Can they actually do something with this, though.
He has cheese as well.
Nightfall and company looking to reset, and yeah, I think he's going to have to pop that cheese. Indeed, he does. Yatoro gets off the Stone Gaze as well. The Shadow Demon is dieback now. As you can see, Nightfall really wanting to 1v1, but not going to happen for now. And there is the Ravage from Pure. The second one comes out, and that is going to be a dead Medusa, and it's a dieback. 4 dead for Spirit. And again, it's just such a strange game, considering we've been seeing 99% of the games just brawl out, brawl out, brawl out, and then it's all about